The Grannom Pupa is a devastating pattern during the emergence of the Grannom. Fish it in the glassy glides below the faster water, upstream, and nail the trout. The hook is a grip 14723BL, size 14, thread Benecchi 12-volt in dark brown, attached at the eye, and trim away the waist. The material which will form the head of the fly is a single strand of Peacock herl, which I'll tie in right now. Run the thread down a few turns to make space for the head, and then the hackle gets tied in. This is a feather from around the neck of a ringneck pheasant. There's a dark band with these feathers, a small and nicely rounded tip, but the reason why I like to use them for legs on this pattern is that there is very little in the way of taper in the barbs. They're pretty much the same thickness all the way to the tip. Tie in the feather and work my way towards the bend of this pattern. The ribbing material is some black rodwinding thread. And keep it underneath the shank as I run the thread well into the bend. For the body, I'm using a dubbing mixture which is mostly cream but with a little bit of dark olive mixed in. Simply twist it around the thread. And then shape a reasonably plump body. And then rib it quite closely with this strongly contrasting thread. The pupa of the Grannom has very distinct barring on the abdomen. And simply tie off the ribbing material. Snip away any waste. Clip on some Hackle pliers and do a 2-turn hackle and trap the tip and cut through to in front. I snip away the tip of the feather. Just angle it back. And finally, wrap a few turns of Peacock herl in front to form a head. Trap it with the tying thread, which then cuts through to the front. Snip away the herl. And finish off with a 3-turn whip finish. That completes the Grannom Pupa. The Ovi-Grannom imitates the female Grannom as it returns to the river to deposit her eggs. The green egg sac is a key feature to this pattern. While the best fishing is generally had fishing the pupa, the adult Grannom should not be overlooked. The hook is a Tiemco 102Y, size 15. In most other brands and models, this would be a size 14. The thread, Benecchi, 12/0 in dark brown. Attach just back of the eye and then run down. Trim away the waist, and then advance the thread to the end of the shank. This pattern imitates the female Grannom as it is ready to lay the eggs, and the rear of the abdomen is a green or olive with the eggs coloring the tip of the abdomen. Some olive hare's ear is used to imitate this. For maybe a third of the body length. The remainder of the abdomen is done with a Goose biot, dyed brown. I'm tying in a reverse taper, so I'll tie in by the thick end or the butt of the biot. Then simply advance the thread to closer to the eye. And clip on some easy pliers to wrap the biot in touching turns. Then tie it off. Trim away the tip of the biot. For the wing, it's a pair of natural CDC feathers with the tips aligned. The wing is slightly longer than the abdomen, just past the bend of the hook, like so. Then simply snip away the waist. The head of the fly and also the legs I form with some dark olive hare's ear. I split the thread first. And then insert a small amount of the dubbing. And then spin the bobbin holder. To put an amount of twist back in the thread. Then wrap the head, stroking back the barbs that, or hairs that come loose. A little bit of the CDC stem is still there. And then finish it off with a 3-turn whip finish. Tease out a little bit of the hare's ear to suggest some legs. And that completes the dry Grannom, or the Grannom adult, with the olive of the egg-sac, then the segmented body, the CDC wing and the hare's ear to form the thorax, head and legs.